Happy holidays, everybody. My name is Raved and welcome to my 200 subscriber special. Unfortunately, this is going to be the last special I do until I hit a big milestone. Not every 50, because I'm going to end up tiring myself out. This is recorded on my iPad because, well, I'm cheap like that, and because my camera isn't really working. So, I leave you here with a little Christmas tree that I have. It's fake, for reasons because of him. But in a few moments, we're going to head over to the recording area, since a lot of you have requested exactly how I record and edit and whatnot. So, today we're going to go behind the scenes of how I make my Let's Plays. A lot of you requested this, and I hope you guys will enjoy, because, well, you have asked for it. So, let's get going. Well, there's the initial setup of how everything is laid out in my room in terms of recording. So there will be a couple things that you will see that will probably make you go like, what, you have that? And trust me, I have a whole library back there. And most of these books are not mine. I read some of them, but they're not all mine. But right here, that's the initial setup for everything which I'm going to do now. So I'm going to go in depth in a second. So right there, we have the Hauppauge HD PVR, which right now I've had for around a year at this point. So it doesn't really perform exceptionally well. It does have those little lines that you would see in my videos, but other than that, it's a very, very good PVR and recorder. So if you have some money to spare, well then I recommend you pick this up, because it is pretty good, especially if you think you're going to do this for a long time. Now here is my Xbox. It's currently turned on, and I was actually playing something on it because, well, you all know the story about my Wii, which broke. And he's not in here right now, which I'm glad. I actually have to close the door all the time now. And I have my TV right here. So this is pretty much where I see stuff, clearly. And there's a bunch of games there. You can see that Sunshine, Jungle Bee, and a hidden game are under there, as well as Brawl, and a battery. But we're not going to get into like a vlog room or anything. So right there is pretty much, well, my Twitter. That's pretty much where I would tweet stuff, clearly. Like I said, it's behind the scenes look of how I do stuff. But we're not all about doing social stuff. But here's a little something I'm going to do right now. As you can see, I'm about to tweet that, which you guys will probably see, and then you'll end up being like, oh, I'm here, Alex, I'm here. So, just going to tweet that, just because. And then all of you are just going to be like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, really cool when you actually see this part. So now we're going to move on to how I do everything in terms of recording stuff for Platinum. And then when we're done with that, we're going to move on to my consoles with the Hauppauge, Xbox, and the Wii. So I'll see you guys in just a second.
Well, congratulations. You two are now sort of in a video. Okay, well, right here is pretty much the initial setup of how I record Pokemon Platinum. As you can see, I have Audacity, which I use to record everything for everything when it doesn't come to collaborating with other people on a Skype call, which is why I have this, which is called iFree Skype Recorder. It's free, and it gives decent quality. I use that for Happy Wars. I use that for just Happy Wars at the moment, and the 150 subscriber special for PokeMMO. Now, the next thing which I use is Desmume. A lot of you already know that I use Desmume to record, but that's pretty much what I use here. I use a special version, which is supposedly better, but to be honest, I compared it with the other versions, and it really didn't do a whole lot. I mean, it's sort of better, but you can't really spot it until you get in depth with it. And the most important thing I use is Dicstory. Now, Dicstory is pretty much a different version of Fraps, and ironically, I actually have Fraps right here. So, the reason why I use Dicstory is because it's a lot easier to use, and it ends up looking a lot nicer. Because, trust me, I used Fraps for episode 1. I tried to. It came out horrible. So, using Dicstory with a bunch of settings that I had to use here really made it a lot easier for me to differentiate exactly what I use. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and record episode 12 of Pokemon, or bonus episode 12 of Pokemon Platinum, which should be out on New Year's Eve, and then this will be up the day after, if all goes well, of course, because of some things which I'll be showing you in a few moments. So, I'll see you guys in just a minute. And I keep saying that a lot because, well, I'll see you in just a minute. Alright, so now we're done with recording episode 12 of Platinum, or bonus episode 12. It's 3 parts because of some screw-ups I've made, but as you can see here, I managed to get the first part, and there's a bunch of things here, don't worry about that. So I have these 4 audio files. So now we're going to move on to Sony Vegas. Now here, well, this is clearly the Happy Wars layout. However, what I want to do is I want to go over to my huge area. As you can see, I named them really dumb, just Ep is dough, because I am in a rush. As you can see, all these Vegas files of every single part I've done. So we're going to move over to episode 10. Or not episode 10, sorry. We're going to find episode 11 here. If I don't have it, well then, wow. I am just horrible. Okay, well, let's move over to here. Let's get episode 10 out just because I just remembered I forgot to save it as episode 11. So we will save this as Happy Wars. And when we continue further, after a couple of loading things, we're going to get a pop-up. This is just because I delete a bunch of stuff when I'm done with some episodes because my computer cannot take over 1,000 gigabytes of everything. So here's the initial layout of Platinum. As you can see, it is a very complicated timeline, pretty much 26. For Jungle Beat and stuff like that, I'm not really I'm actually gonna compare it. So I have a whole lot of different tabs, including, you know, all the Pokemon as you can see here, the layout here, and then the files of the actual video. And that thing has to be split into 2 parts because, let me show you this. Let's move over here, and you can see a blank screen, and clearly it does not show any video, and it says media is offline because, well, that file is deleted since I cannot take a whole lot of space on my computer. But what I usually do is, for the ones which I have done, going over to Event Pan Crop, as you can see, there's actually this red bar. Now, why is that so important? Let's go ahead and delete this. I'm actually going to do a little bit of editing here for myself while showing this to you guys, just because. This is typically what I do whenever I'm done editing an episode. I delete all of these files, like the Desmume ones, the outro, that was for Sky Shaman, that's something which we had to put in. But, hey, it's a thing. But for what we're going to do now, deleting all of these, and it takes a little bit to do. Now, that's my old thing, and I can't believe I still had subscribe there. I'm such a loser for doing that back then. Because I don't really care whether or not I get more or not. I mean, this is a special, but hey. So now, we're going to go ahead and move over to my personal files. Go to Let's Plays here. And if we can continue further. So this is my whole binary of pretty much everything that I have. A lot of these things are from old. This is something which is a secret. Well, not really a secret, whatever. We're going to go over to the original Let's Play Pokemon Platinum. Now, as you can see here, there's a bunch of files. You can see stuff that you can remember from old times, such as an update video, such as episode 41, and so forth. The bonus videos are all the way up here, and some other things that you may or may not see, and that's just something random. But here is the most recent thing that I recorded. Now look at the size of this. 3 minutes and 5.24 gigabytes. This one, 20 minutes and 33 gigabytes. And so forth with all the other all the other ones. So we're going to go ahead and move. I'd like to put this one, or not this one, sorry. I'm going to put this one. Let's go ahead and drag this into Vegas. Now, when this is loaded and it gets into Vegas, it's going to take a little bit of time to get it in. But once we do that, we should see that, as you can see right there, it looks very small. Extremely tiny. And if you were to just move into another portion of the video, if I also give you a RAW, it would look a lot like that. So exactly how do I change that? Well, this is still loading the audio, so once it's done loading, we can just continue further. But let's go ahead and copy and paste these two. And once we have that, we can move these up here and down here. So then we have two separate files. Now the next thing to do is to go back into our desktop and get the part 1 of this video and drag it onto here and then load it respectively. If it can load here, not responding, that usually happens a lot, but that's because it's taking a lot of memory to put it in. And then we can just bring in the commentary clip. So once that's done, we have that completed. And then the next one is just going to be really, really short to do. So there. Okay, now, look at this over here. Let's go ahead and expand this. So you can see, it's going to end up sounding really loud. So what I do is I cancel out one portion completely, and I move the decibels to negative, I like to say negative 25.3, because it's easy to hear and it won't blast in your ears. I mean, that's what I'm supposed to do. It's my job to do that, not the game. And now here's a very important part. So these bars right here, these black bars, these are just put there because, well, you know, when you expand it like that, that happens. I don't have any black bars in my videos anymore. I got rid of that feature 3 or 4 months ago. So, now, let's go ahead and not maintain aspect ratio. If you guys want to do something similar to what I'm doing in terms of my layout or anything in terms of getting rid of special black bars, follow exactly what I'm doing. So, maintain aspect ratio on that. As you can see, it expanded a little bit further. Now here's the fun part. I have a bunch of different things which I use for editing this. And I usually name them really stupid things. So here we have a bunch of things. And I don't really remember exactly which one I use. So we just have to keep experimenting until we find the right one. And with Nintendo Rudo, oh god, I can't believe I'm showing you guys this, but hey, it doesn't really matter. Let's move this over to the right position, and it looks perfect actually. Except that little tiny spot there. So how do I get rid of it? Well, we go to mask, and we get the top screen, or not the top screen, we get top DS, and with that, everything's all nice and cropped. So when we move on to the things being placed, it's in a good position. And now for the bottom screen. Pretty much a similar thing that we've done before, but I think it's going to be one of the following. It should be this one. Pokemon Platinum bottom screen, I know, I actually named it like normally. And same concepts occur for the other ones, except I named it. I think it was not this one, but we just keep going until we find it. So Pokemon Platinum DS, that's the one we use. And now, everything fits into the frames perfectly, and that's your end result. So that's the basic things of what I do for editing one of these episodes. A lot of them involve me just cutting and just staring at a screen for a long time, listening to my own voice, which I'll end up doing for this video too. So, now, I want to show you guys something very important. I'm going to go ahead and save this as episode 12, just in case anything happens. So let's save it as that. Now, once we do that, sorry for the sniffles, by the way, I'm sick. But I mean, not so sick that I can't record, but just, you know, it's winter. So now I want to go ahead and open up part 1. Now, why would I go ahead and open up part 1? Well, for all of you who actually watch the videos all the way through and listen to the amazing outros that I do, I want to show you how I edit the outros. So the outro is this little tiny speck of spot right here. And what I usually do is for the logo, I usually have it in a green screen and then I use chroma key here to make it look, you know, as if it was just standardized. And then for platinum version, same thing, I just crop it out, then I add platinum with the effect of it sparkling through a media event called, I think it's called Sony Glint or Glow. Or, whoops, not that one. Actually, to be honest, I can't remember. Oh, Video Event FX, that's the right one. So Glint or Glow, either one, that's what I use. Glint is what I use. Chroma key here, that is the same thing. If I also make it white or orange, then you can see the little green that appeared right there. So let's just use this and click here. And that did not do the job, but oh well. Whoops, we can just use Control Z, because that's exactly what Control Z is for. And then I have the music here. It's been a while since I've actually used this, so I've been just reusing old ones because I didn't really have to deal with it. But that's pretty much how I edit Platinum. Now, for Donkey Kong, well, I'll show you the programs that I use. The only program that I use is called Total Media Extreme. And in Total Media Extreme, there's something called Record Video, which is ArcSoft Media Capture. Now, with this, as you can see right here, this is pretty much the initial layout. It's blank right now because it's not connected, and I will not show it off because I do not want to connect a thing to the Wii. But that's pretty much what I use. Now, for Donkey Kong, let's go ahead and open up a file for Donkey Kong. Now, remember those 26 tabs I had for Platinum? I'm not so sure it'll apply to Donkey Kong. Let's go to Donkey Kong Episode 2. Now, let me show you exactly why nothing will happen. It says I have like 7 or 8 tabs. In reality, I have 3. I have 3 minus the outro, which I did not add for this one, but oh well. So, that's pretty much how I edit everything here. It's a really nice, complicated process that ends up sounding very, very complex, but in reality, it's still the same. So, yeah, my editing for Platinum is bizarre, which is pretty much why I was slacking off for a while, because, well, Platinum's just very tedious to record. And with my computer having a not so good graphics card and memory, it will end up lagging a lot and eventually blue screening and crashing and so forth. Well, that's the end of how I do everything in terms of my videos. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And I also use Camtasia Studio to record the screen, and Audacity, of course, to do everything else in between. So with that, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for 200 subscribers. It means a lot. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.